Long, long time ago, when the postal system was modernized, the chronically overworked Postmaster General overlooked two tiny post offices. One tucked away in the rolling hills of Somersetshire, the other somewhere in London. After unsuccessfully awaiting modernization, these two offices continued with their quiet lives until one day their daily routine was violently disrupted by the letters of Lady Susan, the most accomplished coquette in England. To avoid another scandal on social media, Lady Susan had now taken to letter writing, and her letters were eagerly expected by the two post offices through which all of these letters coincidentally passed. What with the secrecy of the letter no longer being what it used to be, Lady Susan's letters soon ceased to be private after all.
I'm just saying that we need to make sure that the Wi-Fi reaches all offices all day long. I cannot run from my office every time I need to look something up online.
Weren't you the one who insisted on not being constantly connected to the internet? It took me forever to position the router so that your office can be an internet-free zone.
True. Well, yes, that's right. But now...
But now you've changed your mind and also want to live in the 21st century. Well, I get it. Any new thoughts on appearing on screen?
Oh no, please no.
No worries, dear. I was just teasing. Ah, Patricia, Helen, welcome.
Hello, Cecily. You're in an awfully good mood today. Anything happened? Anything I should know about?
No, Patricia, I was merely sharing a joke with one of my staff members is all.
Ever the boss, right, Julia Marie?
Not again, Helen. Please, not again. I've had it from all of you today.
Are you all right, Patricia?
I'm sorry, Patricia.
Sorry, my dears. I'm just having a bad day. Bit of a headache, college tuition for the girls and all that.
You're doing the best you can. There's nothing else you can do.
She's right, you know.
Maybe we can take your mind off it with the letter?
Oh, that would be nice. Thank you.
Well then, we only have one letter today, but it's a fairly long one, I think.
Oh, goody goody.
And it's from Mrs. Vernon to Lady de Courcy. My dear mother, Mr. Vernon returned on Thursday night, bringing his niece with him. Lady Susan had received a line from him by that day's post, informing her that Miss Summers had absolutely refused to allow Miss Vernon's continuance in her academy. Ooh. We were therefore prepared for her arrival and expected them impatiently the whole evening. They came while we were at tea, and I never saw any creature look so frightened as Frederica when she entered the room. Lady Susan, who had been shedding tears before and showing great agitation at the idea of meeting, received her with perfect self-command and without betraying the least tenderness of spirit.
Well, I think that it is a bit too private to read that out.
Ah, come on.
Okay.
Who cares anyway? Nobody will know.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be okay.
As long as you stay quiet. Anyway, let's move on. She hardly spoke to her, and on Frederica's bursting into tears as soon as we were seated, took her out of the room and did not return for some time. Ooh.
Oh, the poor girl.
When she did, her eyes looked very red, and she was as much agitated as before. We saw no more of Frederica's. Poor Reginald was beyond measure concerned to see his fair friend in such distress, and watched her with so much tender solicitude that I, who occasionally caught her observing his countenance with exultation, was quite out of patience. This pathetic representation lasted the whole evening, and so ostentatious and artful a display has entirely convinced me that she did, in fact, feel nothing. I am more angry with her than ever since I have seen her daughter. The poor girl looks so unhappy that my heart aches for her. Lady Susan is surely too severe, for Frederica does not seem to have the sort of temper to make severity necessary. She looks perfectly timid, dejected, and penitent. She is very pretty, though not so handsome as her mother, nor at all like her. Her complexion is delicate, but neither so fair nor so blooming as Lady Susan's, and she has quite the Vernon cast of countenance, the oval face and mild dark eyes. And there is peculiar sweetness in her look when she speaks either to her uncle or me, for as we behave kindly to her, we have of course engaged her gratitude. Her mother has insinuated that her temper is intractable. Oh gosh, this handwriting, seriously.
It is quite peculiar.
But I never saw a face less indicative of any evil disposition than hers. And from what I can see of the behavior of each to the other, the invariable severity of Lady Susan and the silent dejection of Frederica, I am led to believe as heretofore that the former has no real love for her daughter and has never done her justice or treated her affectionately. Oh, I think you're right. Frederica's a poor girl.
Yes, she is. Thank you.
I have not been able to have any conversation with my niece. She is shy, and I think I can see that some pains are taken to prevent her being much with me. Nothing satisfactory transpires as to her reason for running away. Her kind-hearted uncle, you may be sure, was too fearful of distressing her to ask many questions as they travelled. I wish it had been possible for me to fetch her instead of him. I think I should have discovered the truth in the course of a 30-mile journey. The small pianoforte has been removed within these few days, at Lady Susan's request, into her dressing room, and Frederica spends great part of the day there, practicing, as it is called. But I seldom hear any noise when I pass that way. What she does with herself there, I do not know. There are plenty of books, but it is not every girl who has been running wild the first 15 years of her life that can or will read. Poor creature, the prospect from her window is not very instructive, for that room overlooks the lawn, you know, with the shrubbery on one side where she may see her mother walking for an hour together in earnest conversation with Reginald. A girl of Frederica's age must be childish indeed if such things do not strike her. Is it not inexcusable to give such an example to a daughter? Yet Reginald still thinks Lady Susan the best of mothers, and still condemns Frederica as a worthless girl.
Jesus Christ, this family.
Yeah, and Reginald just doesn't seem to be the brightest person, does he?
He's whipped. He's whipped for her. This lady.
That must be it.
Well, let's see what else Lady Vernon has to say. She is convinced that her attempt to run away proceeded from no justifiable cause and had no provocation.
Yeah, right.
I am sure I cannot say that it had, but while Miss Summers declares that Miss Vernon showed no signs of obstinacy or perverseness during her whole stay in Wigmore Street till she was detected in this scheme, I cannot so readily credit what Lady Susan has made him and wants to make me believe, that it was merely an impatience of restraint and a desire of escaping from the tuition of masters which brought on the plan of an elopement. Oh, Reginald, how is your judgment enslaved? Yeah. He scarcely dares even allow her to be handsome, and when I speak of her beauty, replies only that her eyes have no brilliancy. Sometimes he is sure she is deficient in understanding, and at others that her temper only is in fault. In short, when a person is always to deceive, it is impossible to be consistent. Lady Susan finds it necessary that Frederica should be to blame, and probably has sometimes judged it expedient to excuse her of ill nature, and sometimes to lament her want of sense. Reginald is only repeating after her ladyship. I remain, and so on and so forth, Catherine Vernon.
Well,
Oh, whoa.
but Frederica is coming to Churchill. That's wonderful news. Maybe you even get to see her one day. Could you maybe sneak a picture of her? Oh no, that wouldn't be proper, would it?
No, not exactly.
Yes, you're right. Well, anyway, things are afoot. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to rush off again. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Helen, can you make
Yes.
sure she takes a little break from worrying? Maybe have some tea with her or something.
Of course, Cecily. My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. Now, what do you say, Julia Marie? How about we meet in the real world and have some tea too? Kitchen in 5? And after that, we can reposition that router if you want to.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
See you.